Turn on, smash, put on the gas, I will not crash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash, 100 yard dash. They slept on the team that they owe me. I need a ring and a trophy. I say I'm the best cause I am. There's no need in keeping it low-key. I can carve up the D like a turkey or run straight through the D like a train. This year we ain't taking no losses. It's all about making the game. I hear a lot of trash talk. He call himself making a name. I put on the Jets. The coach will regret even letting them stay in the game. Team morale took a tumble. Next time be humble. I'm the lion in the jungle. You just trying not to fumble. Rumble, young man, rumble. Never slip nor stumble. I take off.
Just off the shores of Lake Erie, we are at First Energy Stadium in a city aptly named after its founder, Moses Cleveland, way back in 1796. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Detroit Lions and the Cleveland Browns. He stiff arms him. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. First carry for Nick Chubb. He takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4. 4 yards the result on the first play from scrimmage. Second down. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. Mayfield hands it off to Chubb. And the hole closes quickly there. He gets maybe a couple up to the 38.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be in some trouble.
And I think so, because then you turn it into a shootout, and that means your offense has to keep pace.
Just a 2-yard pickup, and that should necessitate a call for the punt team here on 4th down. And the kick's away as he angles this one for the sideline. And now where will the side judge stop his walk? That's the question. He says it crossed out of bounds at about the 17-yard line.
Pick it up, defense. Let's go.
The first carry now. This is Johnson. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. First down, Detroit, 16 yards on the pickup. Well, one unit I know you want to watch is that offensive line. If they keep clearing holes like that, it could be a long night defensively.
No doubt about it, because when they are in sync, as we're seeing so far, when that continuity is there, and you can see that they're playing off of each other while controlling the defensive front linebackers, you're exactly right. It could be a very long night for the defense because someone's going to run for some big yardage. They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Now a give, right side. Covered. Found a little room there as he's up to about the 37.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Go! Hey, box truck.
From the gun on 3rd down, Luck. Oh, and he'll just get rid of this one deep. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. Well, certainly not how he wanted to start his night. First throw of the game, an INT.
Yeah, it's not easy, but he's got to try and wipe that one away from the memory banks. And let's face it, it's not often a quarterback and a defensive back have a lot in common. But one thing, because they have these individual type plays, they've got to have short memories, don't they? DB gets beat, wipe it away, quarterback throws a pick, has to do the same thing.
And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. A good pickup there for the Browns, 15 yards. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
He'll be taken down at the 48 for a pickup of 2 yards. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
You gonna see me in your nightmares, son. You gonna see me in your nightmares.
And a quick throw here. That's complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. Charles, Thursday night game. I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So as you said, you shrink the playbook. Pick out the plays that work best for you. And you know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off of the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. Well, they only needed a small gain on 3rd down. They end up getting over 30 yards. So the big play means just like that, they'll operate from the red zone now on 1st down.
Let's go. Run. Kill. Hey, exit. Kill.
56. Mike, 56. Right there. 56. Quit talking about it.
Now Mayfield. And this is caught. Touchdown, Cleveland. Odell Beckham with touchdown number 7 on the year, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This fielded at the 2. And his guys are going to start their drive right at the 20-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They had the interception last time. It led to the opening touchdown. So now 7-0 to score as they start 1st and 10. Fights forward for only about a yard up to the 21.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Now a hit and lock. Lost the football. It's out.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Hey, Haywood. No.
3rd and long. It's locked. Buying time to his left. Only able to get back a yard for his efforts, and that leads us to 4th down.
And, partner, I would guess that in his headset he was hearing from his coach, it's 3rd down, don't take a sack. And in this case, he's able to avoid the pressure and get out of there. He doesn't get the 1st down, but he does turn a possible loss into positive yardage.
That one in the books as a 64-yard punt. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. The Browns drive about to get started. They've got a 7-0 lead in the football as well as they start out 1st and 10. A 1st down throw for Mayfield. He'll get this to Chubb out of the backfield. Give him 6 on the play, and that'll make it second down. We've seen quite a bit of the short passing game here early on first quarter, haven't we?
We have, and I think it works a couple of ways for this team because, number one, you throw the short game until they stop it. And if they're not going to stop it, you keep throwing it, and occasionally you'll break a tackle and turn into a bigger gain. Also, if they start to creep up, you start to pressure receivers, now you go over the top, take it deep, and now you get some of those big shots downfield.
4 yards the pickup, first down.
Well, they came into this game saying it was important that they set the tone and show that they can run the football. And I believe that they've done that here in the first quarter.
180.
51. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Watch the flood. Motion. Block.
Run.
Watch twitch.
After 1, 7-0 on EA Sports.
Round 7, Lions nothing.
Set. 180.
Touchdown defense.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And they get to him after a gain of 6 to the 46. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Let's talk a little football 101 here because one of the keys to advancing the ball downfield, success on first down. Huge difference, as we know, between 2nd and 4 and 2nd and 8 and 9.
The last run got 6, now 2nd and 4.
Watch the gas. Watch out.
Real.
Watch it.
6-6. Pull it high.
Safety.
Hey, alert. Watch.
To throw, Mayfield. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's going to be caught for a Browns touchdown. A big play there. Hitting double digits with his 10th touchdown of the season. And the Browns are going to tack on to their advantage. The extra point up and good. And that'll make the score 14-0. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything, at least 3 points, get that 0 off the board.
58 to Mike.
On 2nd and 11 now. Luck. Wide open receiver complete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and get the quarterback a really nice target.
Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line.
Okay, it's real simple to say from here, but we know that sometimes as a quarterback, you've got to know when to say when and just throw it away. Flushed out to the right, tries to make something out of nothing here, and he winds up floating one downfield that gets intercepted.
Hey, high 7.
Following the interception, Mayfield. It's caught. Beckham. And he almost gets this to the 30, taken down about a yard shy. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down. Mayfield brings him up 1st and 10, and he's completed all 7 of his passes thus far.
Alert, alert! Alert, alert!
A run for Nick Chubb. And he's got a good gain of 7 up to the 37.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
At the 37-yard line.
So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Regular, regular, regular. He don't want it. Hey, watch it.
Mayfield looks to throw. He finds his target, Beckham. 4 yards the pickup, first down. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Here's 2nd and 9, just a yard on that last run.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
And an alley to run. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
Well, partner, for a few years there, we thought this read option play was going to take over the whole NFL. It seemed like everyone was using it, but it has been scaled back considerably in the last few seasons, mainly because people are worried about their quarterbacks getting hit. But
he rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. That's now his 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end? In any event, great eyes, head on a swivel, and excellent hands.
Yeah, versatility and showing those hands. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 45 on 2nd down, Luck flush to his right. Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Coming up at the half, a reminder, we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half, as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. On first down, Luck. Open man there is Malone. And he's got this down almost to the 20 before he's dropped. It's a gain of 14 and a first down for Detroit. Now a play fake here on first down. And they're going to get him. He's sacked back around the 28. Myles Garrett racking up sack number 12 for him on the year. Got to assume this defense will be charging again here. It's 2nd and 15.
Hey, Reggie. Close. Go.
Luck. And it's knocked away and incomplete. It was Sheldrick Redwine with good coverage that time as he was there to knock it away.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Alarm. Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike to 59.
A shotgun snap for Luck. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And finally, down he goes as they work it inside the 10 to the 7. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in half number one. The Lions into the red zone for the first time. They've got it first and goal at the 7. They'll try and run. This is Johnson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They'll try again here from the 7 on second and goal. To throw is Love. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
When you got your backs in the shadow of your goal line, you've got to be physical in that situation because there's not a whole lot of space, not a lot of wild plays that can be run there.
It's put up or shut up time. Defensively, nice job just to make sure they didn't complete it on that play. Now Luck on third and goal. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. So on fourth down, the Lions turn it over to Matt Prater for the field goal try. From the right hash, and this one just a chippy. And the 14-year trusty veteran able to knock it through. And they will get themselves on the board here at 14-3. So the 3 points here, they're still down, but they put somewhat of a dent into that lead going into the break.
Anything helps when you're trying to chip away at a lead, but they do know that they're going to need a little bit better effort in the second half.
The Cleveland offense ready to go. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Following the pickup of 4, here's second and 6. They'll keep it on the ground again here. He's got daylight. He's at the 50, 30, 20, 10, and he's in for the touchdown on the final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done?
And with that carry, he's already over 100 yards here in the first half.
And, partner, you know exactly what he's saying to his teammates right now, right? Especially to the play caller.
Give me the ball.
Again, and again, and again. It's not that heavy, sir. I'll take it.
Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made. And Luck will be intercepted for a third time. Picked off at the 39. First possession of the third quarter, an interception, so maybe a second-half tone setter.
Indeed, and not the tone they wanted to set. That's the equivalent of running out the wrong door and running into your pool instead of running out onto the field. A real dud for that one.
Has that happened to you before?
No, but I've heard stories about teams actually doing that back in the good old days.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Mayfield. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Well, for last week's performance, which was so good, he was named NFC Defensive Player of the Week. He got a lot of praise, and understandably so, from national media. Looking pretty good on that play, too.
And I love what he told us this week before the game. He talked about how much time they spend working on pass rush moves, every position, because anyone could go after the quarterback in their defense, and you can see how they've all absorbed their lessons.
Mayfield and this Browns offense staring at a third and long now after the sack. Third and long for Mayfield. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Rashawn Gary make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So they come out of the locker room trailing, but plays like that, they won't be trailing much longer. Defense really starting out well this second half.
Yeah, they knew they had to jumpstart things a little bit. They really struggled in the first half trying to slow them down, but now they have a plan, made that adjustment that we always talk about, and it worked very well on that play.
This is taken at the 3. And he'll take this across the 25, a couple extra yards, up to the 27-yard line. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They trail here by 24 points. Got to get going soon, you'd have to think, as they come up 1st and 10. And he powers his way up past the 30. Yeah, give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
They go to Johnson again. And an alley to run. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a 1st down.
Despite the score, despite the deficit, no quitting this guy. He's running angry, running through arm tackles. He wants to change what that scoreboard is saying.
Right, check, 59. Watch the run. Hey, orbit. 59's mark.
They'll fake the handoff. Now Luck. He'll rifle this one deep right side. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. 2nd down.
And attempted a deep ball there. They didn't get it. But, boy, they're going to need a few of those to actually hit in order to get back into this game.
Good thing they do have a little bit of time here still left in the contest. Decent-sized deficit, but not one that they can't manage. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43.
We got to get to the ball. Let's keep moving. Check 59.
Luck now to throw. And he'll find Hall. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That one a gain of 20 and a 1st down. A 1st down carry here for Johnson. And he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 and the 34.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8.
Watch the pass. Come on. 59's mark. Check, 59. Go.
Now it's Luck. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson, but now it'll be 3rd down. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive.
Check 59. Mike is 59. Mike the 50.
Throwing on 3rd down. Luck. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off with great anticipation. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
The Browns take over 1st and 10.
The Browns drive about to get started. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted. And we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see. So the line of scrimmage all the way up to midfield now as they've got it 1st and 10. Mayfield now from the 50. And a diving grab. I think he got that. Yes. The end result, 21 yards.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB To throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook, and a great grab on the other end. Throwing, Mayfield. That's out to Chubb, complete. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
I think the best offenses love to get the ball to their running backs in open space because they have the ability to make people miss, and they also have the ability to run over people. And if you do that throughout the game, after a while, they might just run through some of those tackles and go a long way.
Well, we saw him shed a nice tackle on that play. Throwing again on second down. Mayfield. It's caught by OBJ. And it's going to be another first down as they'll get him to the ground at the Lions' 12-yard line.
And another thing that makes a comeback route really effective is that oftentimes after you've made the initial move, receivers breaking away from the defensive back, and that makes it a really tough play to defend. A nice chunk of yardage picked up there.
Mayfield on first down. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Boy, you will not see a quarterback of his caliber miss on one like that very often. I mean, there it is, wide open, got the shot, and he misfires.
We talk about, boy, he'll want that one back all the time. He definitely wants that one back. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
51, Mike 51. You want this.
And again, it's Mayfield. And he goes backwards here, losing yardage back to the 16. That's going to go down as a loss of 5, and it brings up 3rd down. And the Lions going with an extra DB here on 3rd down.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Point it right, point it right, point it right. Pistol. Hey, Charlie.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. And it'll be intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. They needed a break. They needed to make a play here in the 3rd quarter defensively. They did that. Now they got to go quickly and get some points on the board.
And the best part is that they made their own break. Taking the ball away. Now they just look at their offense and saying, guys,
let's go.
Come on, capitalize on this one.
And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. He'll get a dozen there, and the Lions have a first down.
We use the word relentless a lot with guys who are aggressive on the field. In this case, it really fits, doesn't it? How about his ability to break tackles and his feet never stop moving?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10.
Bravo. 50. Gotta do better.
Here's Locke. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Corey Littleton. And he takes this one back into the end zone. And the Browns defense has a touchdown. Well, this has just been obviously a dreadful day for him throwing the football. Now 4 interceptions. This one leads to 6 points going the other direction. Tough.
Yeah, it is. And this feels old school to me because you never really took out your starting quarterback back in the good old days. No matter what was going on, he was your guy, and you rode him for better or for worse. In today's football, usually we've got a backup who's warmed up and is coming to the game. So you can see an old school approach here that's not really benefiting them at this point.
They'll try to get the offense going with Johnson. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. And we're back now here in Cleveland. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. Again, it's Johnson. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
From the gun on 3rd down, Locke. And his crew will take over with a football at the 35-yard line. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it.
And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked off by Will Harris. And he'll take this back all the way up past the 45-yard line. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Back to throw. Long. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Myles Garrett, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. The Lions on 3rd down. They've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 16. From the gun, here's Locke. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off near the 42. And he returns it into enemy territory down to the 45-yard line. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now. That's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here.
Watch the boot. Watch the boot.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11.
2nd and 11 at the Lions' 45-yard line.
180. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go.
They run it again with Chubb. The 2nd down play, not much better than the first, just a gain of 1 there. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big, big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
That'll move the sticks for the Browns, a gain of 12. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
Here we go.
From the 32 now. Here's 1st and 10. Mayfield down. He lets this one fly toward the back. And this is going to be intercepted. Kevin King with a pick. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A loss of a yard there to start out. That leads to a 2nd and 11. They'll keep it on the ground. Johnson. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. It'll wind up being a loss of 2. And it'll be a 3rd and about 13.
675. 59. All day, just like that.
Now Locke. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Myles Garrett in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They come up on a fourth down situation with things not looking particularly rosy. 42 yards on the punt, just 2 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Cleveland offense ready to go. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. You know, these guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
Alert, 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 alert.
Third and short yardage. Mayfield dumps this to his running back, Chubb. And he will have first down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. A nice first down pickup on a gain of 6.
First and 10 at the 41-yard line.
Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up first and 10. So instead of running, Mayfield's going to throw it here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him. Now following the sack, they'll look to make amends on a second down and 17.
56.
Mayfield to throw it.
You ain't going nowhere.
And the pressure gets to him again. Rashawn Gary has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
Okay, let's go back a little bit and see if my schooling comes to the front. What's that old saying? Those who forget the lessons of history are doomed to repeat them. That's the same guy who's gotten back-to-back sacks. I think a double team may be in order.
On third down, it's Nick Chubb. And he'll take this for a short gain on what will prove to be the final play of this ball game. So Cleveland able to come away with the victory here. And you've got to say, CD, it was the defense who had a big part in the W.
But without question, when you force 4 turnovers, you get to enjoy the spoils of victory, don't you? It's rare that you force 4 turnovers and lose a ball game. That's almost unheard of. They carried this one home. You talk about celebrating with each other and being in a position where going forward, all you think about is, let's get 5 next time. They're going to be on the hunt.
So for the Browns,